तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So today we are seeing two shlokas, Bhagavad Gita 16.21 and 22. Hmm. So here in this chapter, Krishna is describing about the uh, all the demonic qualities first, and then now what are the ways to go and what are the ways or root cause for those demonic activities? Why we are performing that, or why it is happening to us? That it is explained in this shloka. I hope am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
thank you, Hare Krishna. So we'll recite the shloka first, and then we will have the discussion over the shloka. So all the demonic and uh, uh, divine qualities are explained in this chapter. The last four shlokas remaining, 21, 22, 23, and 24. So today 21 and 22. In this shloka, Krishna is explaining about the three ways to uh, go to hell. So what are the three ways to go to hell? We are discussing in the early morning. Yes, because that is important. And because of this, we are not able to go to Golok Vrindavan. So we'll try to recite the shloka first and then we'll see the details. Bhagavad Gita 16.21. Trividam narake syadam dvaram nashanam atmana kama krodastata lobas tasmadetattrayam tyajet. त्रिविधं नरकस्येदं द्वारं नाशनमात्मनं कामक्रोध तथा लोभस्ततो यति परं गतिम्. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. त्रिविधं नरकस्येदं द्वारं नाशनमात्मनः कामक्रोध तथा तस्मादेतत्त्रयं त्यजेत्. त्रिविधं नरकस्येदं द्वारं नाशनमात्मनः कामक्रोधस्तथा तस्मादेतत्त्रयं त्यजेत्. Anyone wants to recite and read the translation?
Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Bhagavad Gita 16.21. त्रिविधन्नरकस्येदन् द्वारन्नाशनमात्मनः कामः क्रोधस्तथा लोभस्तस्मादेतत्त्रयं त्यजेत्. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. There are three gates leading to this hell: lust, anger, and greed. Every sane man should give these up, for they lead to the degradation of the soul. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Mataji. So, here Krishna has explained that there are three gates leading to hell. First is lust, anger, and greed. So, these are the root cause where one is uh, leading his life or journey towards the hell, Naraka. How one can go to Naraka? By attachment to these three things, like by engagement in these three things: lust, anger, and greed. Lust means kama, anger means krodha, and greed means lobha. Kama, krodha, lobha. So, kama, krodha, tatha lobham. Tasmat etat trayam tejet. So, these three are, uh, one should give up these three things: lust, anger, and greed, because every man, they are leading to degradation of the soul because of these three things. And what are these three things? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, lust, anger, and greed. Okay. Next sloka also we'll recite, and then we'll see the combined purport by Srila Prabhupada. Bhagavad Gita 16.22. Now, in the first sloka, these three are the gates going, and we have to give up these three things to avoid the going to hell. And what will happen to the person who is giving up these three things, that is given in 16.20. So Krishna is given immediate effect, like root cause, and if you give up that root cause, then what you will get? Immediate things are given in the next sloka. एतैर्विमुक्त कौन्तेय तमोद्वारैस्त्रिभिर्नर आचरत्यात्मनः श्रेयस्ततो याति परां गतिम् एतैर्विमुक्त कौन्तेय तमोद्वारैस्त्रिभिर्नर आचरत्यात्मनः श्रेयस्ततो याति परां गतिम् एतैर्विमुक्त कौन्तेय तमोद्वारैस्त्रिभिर्नर आचरत्यात्मनः श्रेयस्ततो यति परं गतिम्. Anyone want to recite and read the translation?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, may I?
Yes, Mataji, please.
एतैर्विमुक्तः कौन्तेय तमोद्वारे स्त्रीभिर्नरः आचरत् यात्मनः श्रेयस्ततो याति परां गतिम्. Translation by Sri Prabhupada ki Jai. The man who has escaped these three gates of hell, O son of Kunti, performs acts conducive to self-realization and thus gradually attains the supreme destination. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much, Mataji. So here Krishna is giving and clear understanding that once you give up that, like these three gates are gates to hell. But if someone is practicing giving up those three activities or three gates, like Kama, Krodha, and Lobha, then one who escaped these three gates of hell performs acts conducive to self-realization and thus gradually attains the supreme destination. What is the supreme destination? That is Goloka Vrindavan. So here in this way, Krishna has explained. And while telling this to Arjuna, Krishna is telling Arjuna as Etair Vimukta Kaunteya. Kaunteya. It's very important. Krishna is uh, like he is calling Arjuna by different names. Somewhere Gudakesha, somewhere uh, Kaunteya, Partha. So by different names, why is calling? Because Kaunteya is the son of Kunti. He is reminding him that, oh, you are the son of Kunti, and you remember Kunti Maharani has gone through so much tolerances and so much. We can see that in prayers of Queen Kunti in Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 8th chapter. So, in that, uh, Krishna is telling Arjuna that yes, you are the son of Kunti, and you know how Kunti Maharani is tolerable and how she can control. So, like that, Krishna is telling Arjuna to, and through Arjuna, he is telling to all of us. So, yes, we can also control like that. So, we will see the purport. Sorry. Stop. Yeah. So, purport we are saying on Veda base. त्रिविधं नरकस्येदं द्वारं नाशनमात्मनः कामक्रोध तथा लोभ तस्मात् एतत् त्रयं त्यजेत्. Yeah, purport. The beginning of demonic life is described herein. One tries to satisfy his lust, and when he cannot, anger and greed arise. A sane man does not want to glide down to species of demonic life, must try to give up these three enemies, which can kill the self to such an extent that there will be no possibility of liberation from this material entanglement. Very, very important shloka as per the sadhaka as we are concerned. Because in this Kali Yuga, degradation is natural. If we don't practice progressing rapidly, our degradation is sure to happen. So that's why we should know this, that how these things are developed, or how these things comes into uh, our life. Because while practicing Krishna conscious also, if we are not so serious, and if we are not so um, serious about our practice of sadhana bhakti, we are not doing seriously, then we can anytime fall prey to this all uh, part of this, like lust, anger, and greed. And what is a lust? Like, lust is the kama vasana, and that vasana is there in everyone's heart, because we are in the material world. Only those who are acharyas, those who are pure souls, who came to this world to rescue all of us, they don't have. Many of you are like that, but I am like full of lusty desires are there in heart. Like, it is filled by pushing, like very what we can say, it's like made into, like how we make a laddu, like that it is filled in everyone's heart. So how to understand that, yes, this is there in our heart, then how it will go, how to go? Because once it is there in our heart, and if that is not and the most dangerous lust is like we desire something, and if that desire is not fulfilled, then we feel angry. If someone in our home also, if we are telling something, that is our desire, that is our desire, and we are desiring, like, okay, this thing should happen like this, but if someone doesn't listen, then we get angry. And with that anger, if anger doesn't fulfill, if no one's, then we greed, and greedy, we becomes greedy. So even in second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is telling Arjuna, kama krodha, um, uh, that shloka is there, one shloka. And this lust is not satisfied, then anger develops, and from anger, greed develops. So these are like a continuation, like a step by step process. So in the, what is the dangerous lust, most harmful desire, that is to enjoy the opposite sex, opposite gender. That is the most dangerous lust in this Kali Yuga. And uh, even in this our in this life, in this material world, if we try to enjoy the opposite gender, um, and we keep that things in the center, then it is very dangerous, and then that is the way to hell. Even in the grahastha life also, if we feel that, okay, sorry, if we feel that, okay, I am grahastha, I have the license, then it is a wrong thing. That license is given only to control our desire, so not to gratify more. Because it's like a each, my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Radhan Swami Maharaj, used to say that it's like a each. If you scrub or each it more, it will aggravate more. It will not end up in doing this thing. So lust is like that. It's like a each. If we rub more, then it will aggravate more. And to control it, we should focus our uh, focus ourselves to the sadhana, our Krishna conscious sadhana. And when we hear the holy name regularly, when we hear, then our heart will get purified and that lust will go away. So that is the only way solution possible in this Kali Yuga, that by chanting the holy name of the Lord, lust, anger, greed, all these anarthas will go away. What is anartha? Means there is no meaning to all this. Artha means the value is there, where meaning is there, any value is there. But anartha means there is no value, no meaning. So whatever the kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsar, like lust, anger, greed, six things are there. Pride, illusion, and envy. These are next three. So lust, anger, greed, pride, illusion, and envy. These six things, they are unearthas. There is no value to it. So why to keep it? But that is there in this material world, that is there with all of us. And we should not um, we should not disclaimer or what I can say, um, judge anyone based on this, because everyone has this. But one who is practicing sadhana very seriously will gradually give up all these six things: lust, anger, greed, pride, illusion, and envy. And when gradually these things are going up, our heart will become pure, and then Krishna will come into that heart, because purity is the force. If we are not purify ourselves, then we will not able to sustain in the Krishna consciousness. Therefore, long lasting sustainability in Krishna consciousness need to give up these three things, because these three things are gets to hell. If we knowingly or unknowingly also practice these three things, lust, anger, and greed, we are also, by while practicing sadhana, if we are not intense, that we will be, the degradation of ourselves will be surely in this material world. Okay. So in the next purport, Prabhupada is giving, mm, yeah. So how to give up this? And by giving up these three things, Kaunteya, uh, you will attain the supreme destination. So Krishna is telling here to Arjuna, the man who has escaped these three things, three gates of hell, O son of Kunti, performs acts conducive to self-realization and thus gradually attains the supreme destination. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. One should be very careful of these three enemies of human life. These are enemies. We should be very careful. Lust, anger, greed. LAG. LAG and PIE. Lust, anger, greed, pride, illusion, and envy. So these six things. Here, three things are very. One should be very careful. The more a person is freed from lust, anger, and greed, the more his existence become pure. Yeah. So that is important thing. When we free from all these three things, we will become pure. Our heart will become purified, and we will not have the any desire rather than Krishna. So it's like, um, what is the main thing? It's like, if you see something, how we can judge, or how we can measure our lust, or not measure exactly in scientific word, but how we can sense that yes, I am lusty, or I am. It's like a self examination how we can do regarding lust, anger, and greed. So it's like we get desire to enjoy ourselves. That is main lust. And because of this, um, enjoying propensity is there in everyone's heart. But when we um when we give up that enjoying propensity, and when we try to satisfy Krishna more, then that this lusty tendency will go away. Means our enjoying tendency is like, if we see a gulab jamun, then we get a saliva in our mouth. That is a lusty things. Like it's a natural, but it's like the thought which comes in our mind, that okay, it's a juicy gulab jamun, and I will enjoy it, and I will taste the mouth, what we can say, like the salivary glands, they will secrete, and water will come out of our mouth. So like that is a lust which is enjoying ourselves. But when we see a gulab jamun, and if we get a feeling that, oh, such a nice juicy gulab jamun, if I offer this to my Jagannath, my Lord, Supreme Lord Krishna, then how he will be satisfied? Then we will become purified in our heart. So this is the journey we can understand from our enjoyment to the Krishna's enjoyment. How we see that, yes, from my own sense gratification, I am thinking of satisfying Krishna's senses. Then it becomes purified. So we can understand, we can check on this parameter always, by ourselves. The more a person is freed from lust, anger, and greed, the more his existence becomes pure. Then he can follow the rules and regulations enjoined in the Vedic literature. By following the regulative principles of human life, one gradually raises himself to the platform of spiritual realization. If one is so fortunate by such practice to rise the platform of Krishna consciousness, then success is guaranteed for him. So, if someone is following this practice, following this path of Krishna consciousness, by following the regulative principles of human life, gradually one can raise himself to the platform of spiritual realization. We will realize by ourselves that how we can progress. That realization Krishna gives in the bhakti. If we are sincere and regulative practices, we are doing it very sincerely, very seriously, then Krishna will give us realization. If one is so fortunate by such practice to rise the platform of Krishna consciousness, then success is guaranteed for him. Even a small progress, small practice is seen as a large success. That is also explained by Krishna in second chapter. Neha vikramana shusti pratyavayanu. Swalpamasya apyasya dharmasya trayate mahatobhayat. A little advancement on the path of Krishna consciousness will save us from a big danger. If one is so fortunate by such a practice to rise to the platform Krishna consciousness, then success is guaranteed for him. In the Vedic literature, the ways of action and reaction are prescribed to enable one to come to the stage of purification. Like why this action and reaction phase is there? Because if we act something or if we do some act, then we'll get the reactions over that act. Reactions we'll get means what? When we are acting, we are performing something, some some task or some act. So accordingly, that task we will get the reaction over that. If we do the good thing, we'll get the good reaction. If we do the bad thing, we'll get the bad reaction. So that action and reaction are there. Why? Because we should understand and we should purify ourselves. If we do the bad thing, we should understand by reaction as I'm doing this bad thing. That's why this is happening to me. This bad thing happened to me, and we will stop doing that bad thing. Then we will get purified. We are giving up that thing. The whole method is based on giving up lust, anger, and greed. By cultivating knowledge of this process, one can be elevated to the highest position of self realization. Knowledge is very important because if we know that, yes, this is the problem, this is the root cause, then only we will work on it, right? Otherwise, how it will be possible? So that's why the understanding, therefore, Krishna is explaining everything to Arjuna and through Arjuna to all of us that first understand this. Why you want to give up this? So whole process is giving up lust, anger, and greed. By practicing all the sadhana, we should understand this. I need to purify myself, and whatever comes for that purification, I will accept it. So by accepting it positively, we will get more enthusiasm to practice sadhana nicely. That's why we should accept it very positively that yes, okay, some obstacles come or some purification come in my life. I'm not able to do my regular things comfortably, then it's okay. Because we are giving up the bad things and we will get the very higher thing, that is the supreme destination, Golok Vrindavan will get. So whole method is based on giving up lust, anger and greed. By cultivating knowledge of this process, one can be elevated to the highest position of self-realization. This self-realization is perfected in devotional service. In that devotional service, the liberation of the conditioned soul is guaranteed. So self-realization and purification in ourselves, self-purification and self-realization. Uh, Liberation of the conditioned soul is guaranteed. So once the self purification and realization is done, and we are perfected in our devotional service, then the liberation is guaranteed. Therefore, according to the Vedic system, there are instituted the four orders of life and four statuses of life, statuses called the caste system and spiritual order system. So there are different rules and regulations for different castes of divisions of society. So spiritual order system is Brahman, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So these four divisions are made, and caste system. Sorry. Chaturvarna Maya Srishtam. What is that?
Brahmacharya, Grahastha,
Brahmacharya,
Varnashram,
Grahastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas.
Varnashraman,
Yeah, yeah, correct,
Sannyasi.
correct. Yes. Brahmacharya, that is the spiritual order system, and caste system is Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So these four divisions and four spiritual order systems are made uh, so that um, we should follow our rules and regulations according to our ashrama and our caste. So this caste, even people are nowadays saying that, oh, no caste, no caste. We are doing a casteism, and that is, it is not a casteism. It is the um, levels or orders of life which are already set up by Krishna. That caste system is like that. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Even we are saying that, oh, because of this Brahmin and Vaishya, Shudra, Kshatriya caste, many people got um, like it is done by nowadays. Uh, people are thinking like that because they are thinking that it is based on the birth, but never Krishna is telling that it is by birth, because Krishna is telling Chaturvarna Maya system Guna Karma Vibhagasha. It is by qualities, it is not by birth. It is never said that Janma Karma. It is said by Guna Karma Vibhagasha. It is not by birth, but it is by qualities of oneself. So if I am born out of a Vaishya family, then I may not be a Vaishya only. I can be Shudra also, I can be Brahman also, I can be Kshatriya also, or I can be Vaishya also. So it is like the order is given based on our previous life karmas, and that those karmas act and we become our swabhava, our nature will become like that. And in that order we will understand, when we understand this way, which in our order, which um, in which caste we are, like Brahman, Kshatriya, Shudra or Vaishya, then we can understand our rules and regulations of our own life, and then we will able to practice those regulative principles of that varna and ashrama. Ashrama means in which ashram we are. Like if brahmacharya, grahastha, vanaprastha, and sannyas. Though this ashram, they have their own specific regulative principles and rules. So one, if someone is following the rules and regulations of that specific ashrama, then he will able to progress on that path. So there are different rules and regulations for different castes of or divisions of society. And if a person is able to follow them, he will be automatically raised to the highest platform of spiritual realization. Then he can have liberation without a doubt. So Krishna is telling here that if, first of all, if someone is able to control or give up these three things, Ether Vimukta Kaunteya. By giving up these three things, three gates of hell, one will get the supreme destination. That is clearly explained here how we can get, because gradual progress and purification and self realization will happen, and one will be properly set up or properly established in his own varna and ashrama, and then he will conducively grow in that ashrama by practicing spiritual sadhana, Krishna consciousness, and then he can attain the supreme destination, that is Golok Vrindavan. So ultimately, we should understand that we want to go to Golok Vrindavan. Our supreme destination is Golok Vrindavan. And it is possible in this life only we can go to Golok Vrindavan by giving up these three gates, lust, anger, and greed, and then by following rules and regulation in Krishna consciousness in our Varna and Ashrama, and in our by practicing our spiritual sadhana very seriously, very intensely, then we can attain the supreme destination, that is Goloka Vrindavan. So thank you very much. If someone has any comments to give, then please give. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranams. Pranam to everybody assembled. Hare Krishna.